3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the HerdU podcast. I'm Tessa.
I'm Adam.
And we are excited you are here. So Adam, how's your week going?
It's going good. Fast and furious.
Very fast and furious, yeah.
I feel like I've been busy this week, like real busy.
Yeah.
And accomplished not a whole lot.
Right. I know CNAs are going on, and that's a whole other world. You know, from the staff side, we used to help our principals do very little bit of it. You know what I mean? Like we'd have different components and stuff. And so now being on this admin side of it, you see everything and you're like, holy cow, it is a lot. Yeah. So I bet they're all glad to have that over this week and
for sure.
not have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah,
so
I can't imagine. I mean, it's a good thing to have. It's conversations that you need to have, right?
Right.
Like what you need for your campus, how you can better your campus, individual campuses. But,
right.
It's just takes a lot of planning.
It's a lot
of planning,
of
a lot of
paperwork.
meeting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So kudos to you guys that have to do that.
Yeah, we sit in very minimal of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's a lot. But anyway, our week's going well. I'm glad to be home. I drove about 2,500 miles last week, which is insane. But yeah, things are going well. James is doing okay. Good. And so I'm just happy to be home and don't really want to go anywhere for a while.
So you probably traveled as much as like going to Cali and back. Cause that's
it's a lot.
I think I've seen a graphic where it says like, if you go down to Houston area and then you come back, I mean, anywhere in Texas, you can almost go to California, Colorado, anywhere.
Yeah,
and you're
insane.
But you were still in Texas, like the whole time you were driving.
Yeah, from Dallas and then Houston and then Lubbock. It was craziness, but we're back and God is good. And you want to know what's kind of funny though? Not funny. Like, does God ever make you like LOL? Like,
oh yeah,
seriously. So I write devotions for our church newsletter, and I took the month of January off just because it's a lot, because I believe in vulnerability and like, that's how I am. Like I'm an open book. I'll just be honest with you about a lot of stuff. And so it's a lot writing for about 18 months, just sharing your heart. And so I took January off, and then I sat down in February to write, and like, I literally couldn't get anything out. I'd be like at my computer. And so if it's not coming from the Lord, I don't want to write it. Right. Because like, it's not about me, it's about him. So I write my first devotional in almost 2 months for the newsletter, and it flowed really nice, right? And it was about pointing God's promises to your problems, not fixing them, but pointing his promises.
Yeah.
And then Thursday happens, right? So it goes out on Tuesday, and Thursday happened, and I was like, that literally was just for me. Like, seriously. So anyway, it was a crazy week, but anyway, God's good, and so we're back in the swing of things. So it's
a little
it's
rested,
awesome.
probably.
Yeah, I feel a little bit more rested. Yesterday was a little rough, but we're all right.
That's
so
good.
Anyway, but yeah, so things are just moving right along, and spring break's literally right around the corner, and I know our staff members are stoked about that.
Yeah,
I know we are.
I mean, who doesn't? Like,
So,
right?
yeah.
You get a week off.
Yep.
Just enjoy. Hopefully, we get some nice weather.
Yes.
I mean, it should be.
That will be amazing to have that on spring break. So, all right. So, Adam, what's the new scoop?
The new scoop is we figured out a little.
I'm not going to lie. I was shocked. I was like, there ain't no way.
And shout out to the teacher that reached out to us. But we figured out that students can unenroll from Google Classroom.
This blows my mind. That's a default.
And,
like who would make that a default?
And I think it wasn't a default, and then I think Google released an update, because if you've noticed, Google has changed a couple of things, and like when you go to sign in now, the email looks a little bit different, and I think they did some settings in there too. So
for sure,
I am thinking, and that's the only thing that we can kind of pinpoint this issue to, is that they released an update and it set that to default. Right. Because they do that. Like they have a tendency to just update random things.
Random.
And I don't think it's their intention to set things at default. But the behind, like the admin console of the side of the Google console, like it's crazy.
A lot.
It's a lot. It's really detailed.
And it's actually kind of changed a lot over the last, would you say since like October, has it kind of been, because like October was the huge update where like the third parties and the privacies, which I appreciate, because
for sure.
I don't want people having my kids' data. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate that. But there's a lot of other updates that they've done that they don't necessarily like roll out to tell you. It's just like, oh, hey, or they'll update it, and then 2 months later you get an email about it. And you're like, oh, cool.
Hey,
that was great.
This is good to
Yeah.
know.
Well, when we got that email yesterday, I was like, they're just being turkeys. Like, no, because anyway, turns out they were not. They legit, because they didn't want to do the work, they legit unenrolled themselves so that wherever they were, like whether it's a sub or in the office, I don't have Google Classroom. I'm not in that class.
Yeah.
Like they literally left the classroom, went to this other place, and they didn't have it.
That's crazy.
It is insane. That blows my mind.
The good thing about it is that it's now fixed. So
yes. Shout out to Irene.
Yeah.
Thanks, Irene.
Irene went in there and she got some settings changed and got it back to
insane
where
to
we
me.
need to.
But anyway.
So anyways, that's the only thing we can pinpoint it to is that happens. Reset it to default, which is for them to unenroll.
Mm-hmm.
And we've since fixed that.
Right. And so, like, hypothetically, if a kid does that, just let us know.
Yeah.
It could be something simple like restarting their computer because, like, it could be a glitch or they're stuck in a whatever.
Yeah.
So if that happens, just reach out or have them restart their computer and see how that works.
And
but they shouldn't be able to do it again.
It's a quick fix. I mean, now that we know where to go. And it's not that we didn't know where to go find it. It's just we didn't know it had changed.
We didn't even know it changed.
Yeah, that was the problem.
I was like, surely not. And then I did a quick Google search. I was like, yep, it sure is. So anyway,
crazy.
But things like that, just reach out and let us know. And we're happy to fix it for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah. So
shout out to you guys for catching anything.
Yes.
And that goes to anything. Like if you guys run into something where, hey, that doesn't look right, shoot us an email. Mm-hmm. We'll definitely look into it.
For sure.
Especially when it comes to things like that.
That's insane.
That's nuts.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I'd be like, you are la. Nope. Turns out they were telling the truth.
Yeah. I mean, kids are so smart, man. And
I know. If only they would apply that to their studies.
Yeah.
Like I always think of that, like people who are like really good robbers. I don't know if you can be a really good robber, but you know what I mean? That like they're crafty and they don't get caught.
Yeah.
Like if you could apply that to like a real life situation, like that would benefit you.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, it always blows my mind. Are the excuses? I'm like, if you could apply that to real life, you'd be so good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you'd be great.
Yep. All right. So our Command Control S actually was found by the Brian Hedrick, which was really cool. I didn't even know it was there. So you guys know I love Canva. It's not a surprise. And I did not know they had this, but they have a wireless remote now that you can do for your presentations. And so I was showing Adam yesterday, and even he had fun with it. So,
a great little
so what you do is you just create your presentation, and then at the top right, there is a button that says present. So you click on that. And then you say present again. It will be a little purple button underneath that. And then your presentation pops up. And at the bottom, you have these 3 little dots. You click that. And then after that, you click remote control. And a QR code pops up. And you scan it with your phone. And you can walk around the classroom. You can move your slides as you're presenting. But also this is what Adam had fun with yesterday, is all of those really fun interactive tools, if you will, are also will now be on your phone. And so like if kids are talking, you could push the quiet button, or if someone gets the right feedback or the right answer, you could cheer, or you can close out your presentation when it's over. And so that's super cool.
That's great stuff.
Yeah. Like you can just you don't have to buy a wireless remote or anything like that. Just use Canva for your presentations.
Yeah.
Guys, they have free templates already ready for you.
Oh, man.
Just put your stuff in. So we'll have it in the description. I have a little PDF for you guys that you can look at to follow those steps.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was super cool.
Use it. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Especially those interactive.
You did.
The confetti.
The drum. You like the drum roll too,
the
like
drum roll.
So anyway.
Confetti and then shushing people.
Yeah.
That's the only time I can get away with shushing people and not get punched in the face.
And there's a lot of times where we're like, we don't want our phone with us because it's easy to get distracted. But everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's phone scans the QR codes. As long as you're using it appropriately, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like you're not texting, you're just literally, because you know what this does for you? It allows active like monitoring, and you can see the students work on it, different things like that. So I think it's a really great feature. So thank you, Mr. Hedrick, for showing me that. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's a nice little gem he found.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, he sends stuff all the time. Some of the stuff I know, some of the stuff I don't. But that one I was like, that's so cool. I have to share that.
Yeah, it's fun when you find things like that are useful to you, because you're like, man, hey, I didn't know about it, or I didn't know the detail of it.
Right.
So that's good stuff.
Very good stuff. All right, Adam, I honestly don't have anything really else to share.
No, so it's been
it's very, very fast week right here. All right, so let's end our podcast this way. Adam, what are you loving?
I'm loving that baseball's back. So I get to watch some Rangers games. And
nice. Are y'all going to any games this season?
We will. Yeah, we will. We got to plan it out. We actually plan out our year probably now as to how many baseball games we go to. But then we have to kind of we go to a lot of football games too.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of plan that out.
Okay, can we talk about football for a second?
No.
I know you will still support the Eagles because y'all love them. Oh, yeah. But I'm kind of nervous about y'all going to the first game.
Are you?
Yes. It's going to be, I'm especially nervous about your wife.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard.
So for what you guys that don't know, what Tessa's talking about is Jason Kelce retired. He announced his retirement officially yesterday. So March 4th.
Yes.
Whenever you guys watch this. But it was a tough time in the Pena household.
I cried a little.
Yeah, we have a group text, and we had seen the announcement early in the morning, so I shared it in our group, and I said, hey, Jason Kelce's got a presser at 1 o'clock. But this one was different. Usually because he's been trying to retire for 3 years, right?
Right.
And every year, I kind of have a feeling he's coming back. This one, I didn't have that same feeling. And then the way he posted it on social media that he was addressing it, it was definitely new.
It was so emotional for everybody.
So it was 45 minutes long. Well, 45-ish. And every minute of it, he was crying through it. And then
it's not an easy decision.
No, you can tell he was still fighting internally with doing it, and he knew the right decision, which is to go be with his family, retire, do that. But it's hard whenever you're going to leave something that you've done for your whole life. Basically.
Well, and okay, we're fixing to get kind of deep here. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't know his background on certain things, but I feel like that he has made that his identity for almost his whole life.
Yeah.
Which that's not his identity.
No.
I mean, you and I both know that. That's not our identity. Yeah. So when that is what you've poured your identity into, it's hard to let that go, because it's I'm nothing now, right?
Yeah.
When he's he seems like an amazing family man, he's super funny. He's going to do a lot of great things, but that's been his identity for so long. I feel like he feels like a big part of him's dying. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's hard to let go of that kind of stuff.
Oh, it is.
But
it is. And then he's been an icon in that city, man. He was meant to be in Philadelphia.
Yes.
He's a Philadelphian, right?
Well, and his wife as well.
She is, yeah. She was born and raised in Philly.
That's what I thought so.
So, they're the perfect couple, but he was just good for sports. He was just, if he would have been in hockey, he would have just been good for hockey. If he'd have been in baseball, it don't matter. That type of athlete, it leaves a mark.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
legacy.
A legacy. And that's why our family, actually for the whole city of Philadelphia, but speaking personally, for our family, that's what he was. He built a legacy. And for 13 years of the 20 plus years that I've been following the Eagles, he was the center. You know, he was a, and then for the kids, ever since they've been Eagles fans,
that's all they really known.
Is Jason Kelce and his funny antics that he did during the game. So it was definitely emotional for all of us. But Anastasia really,
I know that's her player.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, she's still feeling it, but well, we'll move on. That's what we got to do. It's part of the business. It's part. Well,
and he's going to be around. It's not the last time. Yeah. Because we all watch the podcast, and I guarantee you, he's going to be a sports commentator somewhere, somehow, and still be involved with the city.
And I think the decision when he went to Vegas, I think that kind of solidified it, because he was so public everywhere he went. He was on 15 different podcasts.
Yes.
He was on he was everywhere. And I think that kind of let him know, hey, you're going to be fine without playing. Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite moment from the press conference was when he was talking about his wife.
Oh, yeah.
And he talked about how all of his good things have come when she was in his life.
Yeah.
And that just the cohesiveness that they have together, and how you truly are a team. and you make each other better. Like that part got me. I was like sobbing.
and it's, you can feel the sincerity. Like it's not something that he was saying just because he said it. If you watch his documentary, if you follow him on social media, if you read it, watch his podcast, this is him and that's her. Like that's great stuff.
So
like,
good.
You don't have to make it up and pretend to live that life. He actually lives it. So yeah, enough about Jason Kelce, but
sorry.
I can go now. I can go on about him. It's just, it was a sad time for, it was a sad day for sports, because I say that playing sports, but he'll continue on.
He will.
Yeah. In the business for sure. So,
okay. So we're scrolling back. I'm happy that Rangers are playing.
Yeah.
The baseball.
The Rangers, we went off on this.
In Dana going, is it opening day to the Braves?
She is. Yeah. She talked about going to the Braves opening. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really understand baseball. Like, I feel like it's been playing already forever, but I don't know. So I just remember her saying opening day, but
yeah, opening day is when they start season. Like right now, they're getting all the new prospects in, getting some playing time. Okay. So spring training, I guess, is what
it'll be fun. There'll be a lot of interesting things about to happen. So very cool. Okay, so this is what I'm loving. Spring break is literally here.
Yeah,
it's like knocking on the door. I'm like, yes. Yeah, so I like spring break.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yep, it's a nice little break. Hopefully the weather will be nice. There's no telling with this panhandle weather what it's going to do, but it doesn't matter because we'll be home. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's a much needed break. I think it's good timing for it. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then we're downhill. You got all the testing, into school stuff, and then this doesn't sound kind of snooty. Summer's great, but it doesn't mean as much that I'm not in the classroom because I still have to work. So everybody's like, yay, summer. I'm like, oh,
we got to work.
We still got to work. But
so
anyway.
I don't get a summer unless I take vacation days.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. But
so yeah, spring break, I'm stoked for.
Yeah.
Very stoked.
For sure.
I usually try to do like spring cleaning. Like I'll always have a list and I end up just like sleeping. So we'll see what happens.
You get half of the list done, maybe. Maybe a quarter way through.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's all I have.
That's it.
Easy peasy today.
Yeah. Short one.
All right, guys. Well, as always, we are so thankful for you joining us on these episodes, and we hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.